What if I told you that the breakfast you're eating every morning might actually be fueling pain, fatigue, and brain fog, and you don't even know it? Sounds wild, right? But here's the thing. For many people over 60, those everyday aches and sluggish mornings aren't just part of getting older. They're signs of inflammation. And inflammation, when left unchecked, quietly chips away at your energy, your memory, your joints, even your mood. Now the good news, you can fight back. Not with pills, not with extreme diets, but with something as simple and comforting as your morning meal. That's right, your breakfast. Because when you start your day with the right nutrients, your body thanks you in ways you'll notice within days. More clarity, stiffness, a lighter mood. And today, we're going to talk about a 5-ingredient anti-inflammatory breakfast that's not only simple and delicious but powerful for your health. I'm going to walk you through each of these 5 ingredients, why they work, how to use them, and the small but mighty difference they can make in your life. So, if you're someone who's tired of feeling tired, or if you're dealing with sore joints, forgetfulness, or just want to feel more alive in your body, stick with me. This isn't just a recipe, it's a small shift that can spark big change. Let's start with one of the most important parts of this breakfast, and that's the base. Now, I know everyone has their go-to: toast, cereal, maybe just coffee. But if you want to lower inflammation from the inside out, it's time to meet your new best friend, unsweetened oats. I know oats don't sound very glamorous, but they're a quiet powerhouse. The kind of food that doesn't shout for attention, but gets the job done. Whole rolled oats, especially the kind you cook yourself, not the flavored packets, are packed with soluble fiber, which helps lower C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation in the body. They're also gentle on digestion, which is crucial as we age. Plus, oats are great for blood sugar stability. That means fewer mid-morning crashes and more consistent energy throughout your day. And here's the beautiful part. You can prepare them in so many ways. Warm and creamy on a cold morning, soaked overnight in a jar in the fridge, even blended into a smoothie if you're on the go. They're like a blank canvas, ready for the real stars of the show, the anti-inflammatory ingredients we're going to layer on top. Now, once you've got your oats, the next ingredient brings both flavor and serious health benefits. I'm talking about wild blueberries, not the big sweet ones you find in every supermarket, but the tiny, tart ones, often found frozen. These little berries are bursting with antioxidants, especially one called anthocyanin, which has been shown to protect brain cells and fight inflammation throughout the body. This is especially important after 60, when memory and cognitive sharpness can start to dip. Wild blueberries aren't just good for your body, they're brain food. And they add this bright, juicy burst to your breakfast that makes everything taste better. I know someone in her 70s who started adding wild blueberries to her oatmeal every morning, just a small handful. Within a few weeks, she told me she felt more mentally awake by mid-morning. It's not magic, it's nutrition doing what it's meant to do. So, oats and wild blueberries. 2 simple ingredients, but already we're building a meal that speaks directly to your body's deepest needs. But we're not stopping there, because the next ingredient might surprise you. It's chia seeds. Yes, those tiny seeds that used to grow on funny pottery in the 80s. Turns out they're one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Chia seeds are full of omega-3 fatty acids, the kind that reduce inflammation in your joints, help lubricate your brain, and support heart health. They also swell up in liquid, creating a gel-like texture that helps with digestion and keeps you full for longer. That means less snacking, more energy, and more regularity, which, let's be honest, we all appreciate as we get older. All you need is a spoonful. Sprinkle it right into your oatmeal as it cooks, or add it to overnight oats. Some people even stir them into water or juice and drink it down. However you use them, your body will thank you for the boost in fiber. Healthy, fats, and plant-based protein. So now we have a base of oats, a burst of berries, and a sprinkle of chia seeds. It's simple, it's natural, and it's designed to support the parts of you that matter most: your brain, your heart, your joints, and your energy. But we're not finished yet. There are still a couple of powerful ingredients to add to this healing breakfast. Ones that work quietly in the background to calm inflammation, balance blood sugar, and support your body in ways you might not expect. Let's keep going. Now that we've built a strong foundation with oats, blueberries, and chia seeds, let's stir in an ingredient that doesn't just spice things up, but truly transforms your breakfast into a healing ritual. I'm talking about cinnamon. Yes, that warm, familiar spice you probably associate with apple pie or toast with butter. But this isn't just about flavor. Cinnamon has been used for centuries for its medicinal properties, and modern science is finally catching up. Cinnamon contains powerful antioxidants that help reduce inflammation, especially in the blood vessels and joints. It also plays a role in regulating blood sugar levels. And for older adults, stable blood sugar isn't just about avoiding diabetes, it's about avoiding energy crashes, brain fog, and even mood swings. Just a half teaspoon sprinkled into your oats or stirred into a smoothie can make a big difference. It's a tiny thing, but those tiny things stack up. I've seen people in their 60s and 70s who started using cinnamon daily and reported less joint stiffness in the morning and more steady energy through the afternoon. And the best part, it makes your breakfast taste like comfort, like something you'd actually look forward to instead of another bland bowl of health food. But let's not stop at comfort. Let's take it one step further with the final ingredient that brings richness, creaminess, and a dose of healthy fat your body will love: walnuts. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, aren't nuts high in fat? And yes, they are, but it's the right kind of fat. Walnuts are especially rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a type of plant-based omega-3 that helps fight inflammation at a cellular level. That means it's not just easing joint pain, it's helping your body repair and renew itself from the inside. Walnuts are also good for your brain. Literally, they even look like little brains, which is kind of nature's way of giving us a clue. Studies have shown that regular walnut consumption can support memory, focus, and even mood, things many of us want to hold on to as we get older. And don't worry, you don't need a whole handful, just a few crushed walnuts on top of your oatmeal or stirred into your overnight oats is enough to give you those anti-inflammatory benefits. They add this satisfying crunch and richness that balances out the fruit and spices beautifully. So there you have it: oats, wild blueberries, chia seeds, cinnamon, and walnuts. 5 ingredients, 1 bowl, and more power than most people realize. Together, they form a kind of morning medicine, except it tastes good, fills you up, and brings you joy instead of side effects. This isn't just about knowing the right foods. It's about turning this into something you enjoy, something you stick with, something that becomes yours. Because the real power of this breakfast comes from consistency, making it a ritual, giving your body what it needs every single morning. To fight inflammation, feel better, and live with more vitality. Imagine this: you wake up tomorrow, you prepare this breakfast. You sit down in peace, take a breath, and give yourself this one act of care. It doesn't take long, but it sets the tone for the rest of the day. And over time, those days turn into better weeks, better months, and a better life. Let's keep this momentum going. There are still a few more things to share with you, some tips, some gentle tweaks, and a couple of powerful truths that bring this all together. Because it's not just what we eat, it's how we live. And that's really where the magic happens. Not just in a single breakfast, but in the rhythm of choosing better, one day at a time. So now that you've got the foundation of this anti-inflammatory breakfast, the oats, the blueberries, the chia seeds, the cinnamon, and the walnuts, what comes next is making it a sustainable part of your life, a habit you look forward to. A comfort, not a chore. One thing I hear often from people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s is, it's too late to change now. But let me tell you, your body is always listening, and it always wants to heal. Every cell in you is working right now to keep you going. When you give it the right support, even small steps can create real, noticeable change. So how do you make this stick? First, don't overthink it. You don't need to reinvent breakfast every morning. Keep it simple. Maybe you prep your oats. The night before, add a half cup of rolled oats, a splash of almond or oat milk, a handful of frozen wild blueberries, a spoonful of chia seeds, a dash of cinnamon, and top it with chopped walnuts in the morning. Let it sit in the fridge overnight and it's ready when you are. If you prefer something warm, do the same thing in a small pot. It takes just 5 minutes on the stove, and the smell of cinnamon and oats cooking together, it feels like home. You can also make little jars for the week, stack them up in the fridge, and you've got breakfast waiting for you. Easy, no stress, and something that feels like a gift to yourself each morning. Now here's where I want to shift the conversation slightly, because while food is a powerful part of reducing inflammation, it's not the only piece of the puzzle. The truth is, your body reacts not just to what you eat, but how you live. That means stress, sleep, and movement all play a role. And breakfast? It's a perfect place to anchor your day in calm, presence, and nourishment. Imagine sitting down with that bowl of oats, not in a rush, not while checking your phone, but quietly. You take a bite, you feel the warmth. You give yourself 5 minutes to just be. That small act of mindfulness, paired with anti-inflammatory foods, creates a ripple effect. You start your day in a different energy, one of care instead of chaos. And that energy carries into everything else you do. There's also something empowering about choosing your health on your own terms. Not because a doctor scared you into it, or because of a strict diet, but because you want to feel better. You deserve to feel better. You want to walk without pain, remember names and moments clearly, feel joy in your body instead of frustration. And the beautiful thing? It starts right here. With a bowl, with 5 ingredients, with one choice. Now I want you to think about something. If you did this for 1 week, just one, how would you feel? What would shift for you? Maybe your joints wouldn't creak quite so much getting out of bed. Maybe you'd make it to lunchtime without reaching for a sugary snack. Maybe your mind would feel a little lighter, a little clearer. That's the power of nutrition working with your body, not against it. I've seen it happen over and over. People who thought they were just getting older, suddenly finding new energy again, not because they did something drastic, but because they started with one simple habit and let that grow. And if you miss a day, that's okay. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. You're facing forward, you're choosing something better, and even on the off days, you'll know how to come back to it. So let me leave you with this. Your breakfast is more than just a meal. It's a message to your body that says, I care about you, I'm paying attention, I want you to thrive. And that kind of message, it matters more than you know. You've got this, truly. You've got the wisdom, the experience, and now the knowledge. All that's left is to give it a try, make it yours, and let the benefits unfold, one peaceful, powerful morning at a time. And if you've tried something like this already, if you felt the difference a good breakfast can make, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's create a space where we learn from each other, support each other, and keep growing, no matter our age. And if this video has helped you, if it's inspired you even a little, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more ways to live well, age strong, and feel good in your body again. You deserve that. Here's to more mornings that start with purpose and more days that feel like yours. Thank you for staying with me until now, because this is the part where it all comes together, where the small choices we've talked about start to bloom into something deeper. By now, you understand that this isn't just a breakfast plan. It's a way of reclaiming your morning, your energy, and your health with intention. But before we wrap up, let's revisit the real meaning behind each of these ingredients. Not to repeat, but to remind you how powerful they are together. Oats, steady and grounding, give your body clean, slow-burning fuel. They're like the dependable friend who shows up every day and helps you stay balanced. Blueberries, vibrant and bright, protect your mind and bring color to your plate and your day. Chia seeds, though tiny, offer strength, reminding us that small things can make a big impact. Cinnamon, warm and wise, helps soothe and stabilize, and walnuts, rich and complex, support your brain and heart with quiet strength. When you combine them, you're not just eating, you're aligning yourself with the natural forces that heal: fiber, antioxidants, omega-3s, and anti-inflammatory compounds. That's not just good nutrition, it's good living. And here's something you may not expect. This small habit has a ripple effect on the rest of your life. People often tell me that once they start eating with more purpose in the morning, they make better choices all day. They feel more in control, more connected to their body. They start walking more, drinking more water, sleeping better, smiling more. Why? Because when you nourish yourself first thing in the day, it becomes easier to honor yourself the rest of the day. Maybe for years you've been told that aging is about decline, that it's normal to feel tired, foggy, or achy. But I'm here to remind you there's another way. Aging can also be about awakening, about reconnecting with your body in a new, respectful, loving way. It can be a time to simplify, to return to what really matters, and to start fresh, no matter your age. This breakfast, it's just one tool, one small, beautiful way to tell your body, I'm still here, I still care. And when you do that consistently, it listens, it responds, it starts to feel more like home again. And please remember, you don't need to get it perfect. Maybe you don't have all 5 ingredients today. That's okay. Start with 2. Build from there. Let this process feel doable, not overwhelming. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to support yourself, and that's enough. So, if this message has stirred something in you, if you're feeling even a little more hopeful, a little more inspired, I want to invite you to make a commitment to yourself. Not to me, not to a diet, but to you. Try this breakfast for 1 week, 7 days. Make it your own. Observe how you feel, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. Notice if you wake up with more energy. Notice if your joints feel easier. Notice if your thoughts feel clearer, your mood more steady. These are your body's way of saying thank you, and that's the most honest feedback you'll ever get. And if you do give it a try, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let this be a place where we celebrate each other's wins, no matter how small. Maybe you found wild blueberries on sale, or you tried cinnamon for the first time in years. Maybe you just felt proud of yourself for choosing oats over a sugary pastry. That counts, it all counts. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're building a space here for people who want to age with strength, clarity, and peace. People just like you. I'll be sharing more simple, powerful tips to help you feel your best in this stage of life, because I believe it can be your best stage. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're present, you're engaged, you're willing to make small changes that lead to big results. So here's to you, to your mornings, to your health, and to the quiet strength that comes from saying, yes, I'm still growing, I'm still becoming. Keep going, keep choosing yourself, one breakfast at a time.